What's good, y'all? It's your boy Danza. Just one of the many faces of the machine known as the Danza Project. Please do me a favor if you rock with us. Hit that like button, subscribe button, and turn those notifications on. We appreciate you. Salute. This is episode number 164.
Hello.
Now, a lot of times we've had moments that have just been absolutely incredible, right? There's the moments in this, I'm not even telling the people who's here yet, right? There's the moments in this that I think about when I said I'm gonna start a podcast, start having conversations with people. And I was just like, I'm gonna just go ahead and do it. And then there was those little moments every time, little stepping stones that said, okay, you know what? Maybe we got something here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Landon and I were chopping it up, trying to get the visuals right. You know what I mean? I was looking for the co-host, and I had this asshole here that's like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if I could do it. I got a lot going on.
Got commitment issues.
Yeah.
Man.
So and I was like, nah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna make it happen. And then guest after guest, and it's just like, you know what? It's validating what we got going on here. Having these guests up here. And it seems like there's always that next moment that we're not going to be able to get this person here. We're not going to be able to get this person here. This is going to be tough, or this conversation is going to be tough. And I finally feel like when people see our work, our conversations, they're like, you know what? I would love to join that platform. You know what I mean? I would love to go up there and have a great conversation. And that's dope. And this one right here, this one right here, this is one of those ones. This is, what did I say? This is 164?
164.
Yeah.
Man.
Huge.
Kelsey, what up?
What up?
Hello.
No, for real though, congratulations on, y'all's podcast. It takes a lot to pull an idea out of your head and just make it come to life. You know what I'm saying? So that's big. And
thank you.
I did my research. I looked into y'all and I liked what I seen. You guys, you're not aggressive. You're not thrashing people for real. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I think that's what really made me say yes. And it took a lot for me to do that because I don't do this type of stuff.
It's been a while.
You know how many people hit me up? Like,
I'm sure.
Rolling Stone, like, people hit me up. They want to talk to me, but
I'm sure.
it takes a lot.
Yes, and we are super grateful to have you just for that reason as well. It's like you said, it's a little bit of confirmation, It's about the work that we legitimately put in because it wasn't always like this. It wasn't always this caliber of guests. It's an honor to have somebody like yourself in this space, in our round table, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In our home, literally. So it's
Well,
dope.
I appreciate y'all, and I'm excited to see where this goes. And shit.
You know what it is for us? I felt we took the long way.
Yeah.
We avoided having those conversations where I don't understand how somebody could say, hey, come to my studio, come to my home, let's have a conversation, but then trash that person or try to get under their skin or humiliate them.
Right.
For what? What kind of journalism, what kind of conversation, what kind of human being do you have to be to do that? And I understand that a lot of people are clout-based, right? We live in a world where more people just want to be cool than want to be real.
Exactly.
And for me, I think that was the most comfortable thing for me coming into this space is like, you know what? I'm going to go up there, I'm going to turn those lights on and I'm going to be me. And if they like me for it, cool. If they hate me for it, cool. I don't mind when people hate me. I'm completely okay with that. That's been pretty obvious.
Yeah, I've learned that people gonna hate you regardless. Like, you can be doing all the right things, and they're still gonna find something to pick apart.
Nitpick.
Yeah, so it's like,
especially that comment section, boy.
Oh Lord, I had to learn how to not put my head so much into the comments.
Right, just not even look at it.
You got hacked over there.
God damn. But now that comment section, the internet, I don't know, it's like, and then these trolls these days, it's people that get behind the computers and they just troll you. And I'll go look at, somebody will say something crazy about me, right? And I'm typing, I'm ready to talk my shit. And then I'm like, nah, let me go look at your page real quick. And I'm like, bitch,
There you go.
They got
who
nothing
the fuck
going
are
on.
you?
Yeah.
I wanted to take a picture, put them on my story and be like, this bitch got the nerve to say this about me. Ain't got
And
shit
you'll
going
give 'em
on.
all
14
sort of clout.
followers, 0 posts.
Nothing.
You know.
Nothing going on.
All you finna do is make their day. That's it.
That's it, and that's all they want.
That's all they want.
I ain't gonna lie. I recently had somebody, she pissed me all the way off. You know, she said something about my dad. And she caught herself, you know, my dad is deceased. And so she caught herself posting his headstone. Right? I don't play about shit like that.
Yeah.
So I did my research. Oh, you got a YouTube. Let me go to your YouTube. Oh, you go to this college. Bet. Let me write to your college an email and let them know that you're trying to dox my dad's grave.
Right.
As soon as I did that shit,
Goodbye.
yeah, bye.
Thank you.
Like, people gotta learn, like, y'all gotta stop playing with people. Right. Especially when you're showcasing all your business on the internet. I could find you for real if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's the problem with people in general. They feel like some sort of, I don't even know what they feel. Like they feel like a king behind that keyboard or whatever they're typing on at that time. They feel like I'll be untouchable for the rest of my life. And it's always the same result as soon as they see somebody. You know, oh, I was just playing.
I was just playing. Nah, we don't play like that. And, you know, it's a difference between somebody who's just trolling, you know, behind a fake account and somebody that's really doing this shit on their real account. And, you know, you have stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? This person was, I don't know what happened with her situation after I sent the email, but you are a nursing student and you want to risk that by trolling me on the internet playing with my dad's grave?
It's the fact that people
Listen, I'm
feel
totally
like,
okay, by the way, using this as a lane to get her kicked out of the school all the way. Because I am an asshole, like I said. You know what I mean?
Look, you know, and I thought about, you know, I have a big heart. So even when people do me wrong or they say things, I feel bad later. So I was like laying in bed like, damn, did I have to write? You know, I went out the way. I called up there. I found what college she went to. They gave me the direct person to talk to. And I sent that email. But I was emotional because this is my deceased dad. One thing I don't do is, you know, I don't play with that area. I don't play with nobody's kids. But when you come from me, it's like all bets are off.
Yeah.
When you do stuff like that.
Right, facts.
You can say whatever you want about me. But when you talk about my child, when you talk about my dad, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit, it's off limits.
Yeah. What I was saying is, like, people feel like there's no real repercussions for the things that they say. Like, nobody's going to hold them accountable. Mm-hmm. Everybody who got an Instagram got an email attached to that motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Everybody got a link tree with your business, your side business, your mom, dad, all these other people that you post on your page. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
And you giving game right now.
I
will find you.
I will find you. You know, there's kids on the internet behind these pages, and they do stuff like that. I'll tell them, okay, look, I'm going to send your page to my lawyer. They're going to find your parent, and they're going to tell your parent what you're doing on the internet. Oh, I'm just a kid. You know, I've literally been through this where they have swarmed my business pages, just saying crazy shit. Not just, if it's a kid, I'll say something along those lines. Scare they ass. I'm just a kid. I was just playing. No, I'm finna get to your mama and I'm gonna tell them what you doing on this internet.
Play now.
Yeah, it's probably a grown ass kid too, because there's a lot of people that be trolling on the net and using these fake pages nowadays. Like, there's so many fake pages. I used to look, right, like, to see who's like watching, and you see these fake pages, and I'll post something new. I'll turn over real quick and look at my girl's phone. You know what I mean? See what accounts you looking at? You know what I mean?
Just in case.
But it is a lot of people have fake accounts. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of people use that to be able to send messages. And I mean, we're on YouTube, so this is the part that's the worst for me because I'm a troll.
Let me find out you was trolling me.
Our comment section on YouTube, they don't got like a real like profile attached to it. So I want to do that too. True. I'll click it and I'm like, it says user G87HB142.
So you can't even really look.
And I'm like, what do I do with this guy? Right. And then I'm just like, you know, I can't believe that I'm about to make you spend the next 5 hours thinking about me. You know what I mean? And that's where I get them the most. It's like, I'm going to make you spend the next 5 hours thinking of me. This is what's gonna happen because you can't even put your name or a photo behind what you do. You're literally sitting on another man's page and trying to get my attention. You got it now, and I'm gonna make you think about me for the next few hours. So your parents are not gonna be able to have a good conversation with you.
Yep.
Your girl's gonna hate you more unless you're gay. You got a boyfriend. I don't know how you operate. You know what I mean? And then they get so mad and they'll message me for a few hours, and I'm like, thanks for all the comments and boosting the algorithm.
Yeah.
Loser.
Appreciate you.
You heard?
Loser.
But Kelsey, what I want to start this conversation off with, even though we started the conversation off, right, is let the people know who you are. You know what I mean? Where you're from. Like,
just
like let them see who you are. Because a lot of people have opinions, but the truth is none of us truly know what the media can't tell us who you are.
Right.
Only you could tell us who you are.
Yeah, and that's true. And, there's only so much. I've also had to learn, like, I'm a very private person. So it's only so much people know about me. They just form this speculation based off of what is out there already, or maybe how I responded to something. So I feel like they misunderstand who I am because I just haven't let them
Not the full
into
story.
me. Exactly. But, I'm a small town girl. I come from Victoria, Texas. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that.
No.
But
No, I'm not.
Exactly. It's a very small town. Not too many people make it up out of there.
Right.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's from
Okay,
there.
okay.
Yeah, so y'all can look him up.
That's a good one.
He's from out there.
One for Victoria.
Look,
Okay.
hold
Two
on.
for Victoria.
Victoria got some history. Bonnie and Clyde, they made their stop on their little run.
Ran through
They stole a car there, and we had it's like a historic restaurant, and they stopped there and they had dinner and went on about their way. So, like, put some respect on Victoria.
Victoria,
No,
okay.
but I'm a small town girl. Selfless. I would literally give you the shirt off my back. I'm a mother. Very family oriented person. And I'm a hustler as well.
Hello.
Entrepreneur. So, I'm Kelsey.
What was it like growing up?
Growing up, we had, first of all, I come from a home of single mom, 3 kids, all girls. I'm the oldest. We had our struggles.
Okay.
Especially
being the oldest, you got to endure things first.
Exactly.
And they reap the benefits.
Yeah. And so, my mom, I also play like a mother figure to my sisters. You know what I'm saying? My mom was, like I said, she's a single mom, working all the time. So it was most of the time it's just me and my sisters. You know what I'm saying? So, we had our trials and and tribulations, but we got through that shit. And
Tough.
that's kind of who made me who I am today. Going through what we went through, it just made me want to be a better person. You know what I'm saying? So,
how many siblings?
from my mom, I have 2 sisters. It's just 3 of us. But my dad, he got 7, 6 or 7.
We lost count. Yeah.
Yeah, 6 or 7. Oh Lord. Yeah, I got I have an older brother. I got a little brother, and I have 2 other sisters from my dad.
Are any of them in the industry as well?
No, I'm the only one.
Are you being the firstborn? Are you also the black sheep?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes, I am. And so, like my whole mission was to, break generational curses, break that generational curse of poverty. And so I was on that mission, to make it in life and be able to put myself in a position where I can put my people in position.
Word.
That's literally like my ultimate goal is just to, be content in that area.
Yeah, that's a good one. Can't knock that. We don't want that for themselves, especially for themselves and their family and their siblings.
Yeah, not because we went through like a lot. Homelessness,
Wow.
showering with cold water, just shit like that.
Yeah. Sugar water in the mayonnaise sandwich, all that good stuff.
No, for real, like lining up at the food bank to get food, shit like that. So when I turned 17 or 16, when I was able to get my first job, like that was everything. Because now I'm able to help get school clothes for my sisters,
Provide.
Provide, exactly.
What was your first job?
My first job was Aeropostale.
Ah.
Yeah. And see, I actually was I felt like that they wouldn't have let me in had I not had a connect. You know, I had a family member who knew somebody in Aeropostale, so they got me in. That wasn't really my lane. I didn't have when you work at Aeropostale at that time, you had to wear certain clothes. Yep. You had to look a certain way. It's really people who come from good families that work in those type of, retail stores. So, I was able to get in there. It was different for me. It was kind of uncomfortable because I knew that this was not my area. You know what I'm saying?
I was going to ask you, did they treat you different? Like they put you in the back and shit? Like,
no, honestly, my work ethic speaks for itself. So when I get in a position, I make people not regret putting me in that position. So I was a great employee, and every job I've ever had, great employee.
And okay, so 16 Aeropostale. How did you make the jump into the industry and entertainment?
So my dad, he was a music artist.
Okay.
Very, I would say, influential. Where we come from. Like I said, I'm from Victoria, Texas, which is like 2 hours from Houston. So I don't know if y'all are familiar with like the culture in Houston, the underground artists. You got your Zeros, you got your Bun B's, you got Lil Kiki, and these are all legends to us where we come from. So he was actually bridging that gap from Houston to Victoria, doing shows, throwing events in Victoria, bringing these people down the road. Just putting our town on the map when it comes to having access to these legends, these people that we consider legends.
Wow.
So that's how I got into the industry. Growing up, he would take us to car shows. We would see these artists, his events, slanging CDs in middle school, his CDs and shit like that. So when he passed away, I pretty much continued his legacy.
Wow. That's a lot to live up to.
Yeah.
So when you say single mother, right? Because I grew up in a household with a single mother as well, right? But my dad, I'd probably say, I don't know, maybe he lasted till I was like 6 years old around the household where like maybe he wasn't there every single day. But what was it like in your home? Was your dad around for a short period of time or was it just...
My dad had also went to prison at a time, and there's only one time I could really remember where he came home to us. He paroled home to us, and he tried to make it, become a family. So there was only one time I can remember him being under the same roof as us, and that probably lasted a couple of months before he got back to doing his thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I honestly, there's only one time I can really remember, but he was involved. Again, he would come pick us up and go out and we'll do things, but he wasn't in the household for real.
Yeah. It's, I feel like, I'm now you're a mother.
Yes.
And I'm a father. I'm so worried about not being around. Parents really didn't have access to all the knowledge that's out there and the information that's out there now about what it does to the children,
household and to the child, right? Yeah. That's a really good. I always there's battles that I have, like if my dad was around, how would that have played out? How would that played out for me, right? But I don't know. I think my mother did a really great job at raising us. So I don't know if I missed out on anything with not having him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really don't know that. I guess because I didn't have it. So I don't know.
How could you, right? Like,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, you see there were times where I would see people, they have their mom and dad at their games or, like the father-daughter dance type of thing. And, those things did bother me. It's like, I wish I could have had that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Those
like
little moments.
Share those moments, right? How would that had affected me? But I don't know. I don't know if I could be like a different person if I had him there every day.
So who do you credit for who you've become today? For how you are?
Well, first of all, we gotta gotta credit God in
Hello.
everything.
Okay.
you gotta credit God in everything. I mean, He is our creator.
Hello.
And I feel like, everything that has happened, who you become, those things are already written out in His plan. Of course, I also have to give major credit to my mom. And I feel like with my dad being deceased, we honor him a lot. We honor him a lot, express how much we loved him and things of that nature. And I don't really do that for my mom. And she's here. She's alive.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I have to give her that credit. She was my safe space. She,
Rock.
she got us through the hard times that we went through. We went through everything with her. So I have to give that to God and my mom.
Uh-huh. Shout out to God. Shout out to mom.
Right. I was watching
Shout
a
out to
clip.
my mother.
Yeah.
I was watching a clip the other day, the guy from Impractical Jokers, and he was talking about how you could tell he was getting emotional, and he was talking about, you have these moments in your life and you want to shoot that phone call out.
Mm-hmm.
And, be grateful that you still have your parents around if you do, because I don't know what I'm going to do right now. Like, he was in a space where, like, who do I call? Right?
Yeah.
Like, this is the person I want to speak to. And it killed me because I'm thinking, like, I'm so busy in this space and being a father and trying to make sure that I'm doing the right thing as a parent, that I'm not sitting there calling my mother as much as I should when she was also that for me. She was the rock. Like, I don't know if I'm okay without my mother.
Mm.
If my mother will call me all the time and say, she's always worried because she was a single mother. Like, did I do the right thing? Like, do you have any anger towards me or anything like that? She literally asked me that question. And I'm always like, Mom, what's wrong with you? Why in the world would I
love you, Mom.
You did what wrong? You know what I mean? You were Superwoman.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I've watched her, like, we as 5 kids forced my mom to eat.
Mm-hmm.
We literally forced her to eat because she refused to eat because there wasn't enough food for the 5
everybody.
of us. You know what I mean? And so I always try to say, like, like, you are a Superwoman, but then am I really treating her like she's Superwoman?
Right.
So it's tough because you obviously I want to be Superman.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's stuff that I am missing out on. And that's something that I could own up to. I feel like I don't call her enough as I should, because I can't imagine my kids not calling me. I don't care how old I am, or if I'm in a wheelchair, because we know I got a bad back. I'll wheel over there and whoop their little asses. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's very important. Not to keep going back to this, but losing my dad, it did make me realize, like, hey, you need to check on your people, call them, because the night before he passed, I actually had it on my heart to reach out. We weren't on, like, the best speaking terms before he passed. So I remember being on Facebook and something just told me, just message him. I typed his name on Facebook. I don't know why I didn't text him. I just typed, like he had, like, I guess he kept changing his number. Whatever. But I was typing his name to message him. And I deleted it. And I said, man, hell no. He needs to reach out to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the stubbornness.
That's actually really common for a daddy-daughter situation.
Yeah. I was like, nah, he needs to reach
common.
out to me. And so, like, 3 a.m, I got a call. And it was like, your dad died.
Oh, okay.
It was like, did you hear what happened? I'm like, no, it's 3 a.m. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, your dad. And I'm like, my dad. And so, I think it's very important for you to, like, call your people, check on them. I make sure I talk to my mama every day. I talk to her every day, Granny. Make sure you check on your grandparents, whoever you still have here.
Yeah.
Call them, talk to them. They might be going through stuff. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
But I think I was like 19, 20, 21. I don't even know when he passed away. So I was still young and still had, chip on my shoulder and just,
of course,
stubborn. And but now I do try to preach, and it is important, like, that you stay connected with your family, no matter what. Family is family.
Yeah.
You gotta you got to let go of that petty shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts. Time is limited. It really, really is.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. That's powerful.
Yeah, no, it's that's like one of those things people don't really. It's like overlooked the importance of calling, even send a text.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. My mom's working on me now. She say, you know, it'd be nice if you called your mother every now and then. And when your mom uses mother like in the third person, like
they saying I'm like, now call me.
Yeah,
you know,
she's like, you know, just listen every Sunday. If you can't call me, I know you're busy. I know you got everything. You got your podcast going on. Like she knows what that is.
Exactly.
But she says, shoot me a text every Sunday. Make it a thing. And it's been a big thing for me too, like to tell her, just like you were saying, like, Mom, I remember when you wouldn't eat so we could. Those moments are so big. They mean so much. And you don't always get a chance to say that or speak your piece. So it is important.
It's very important. And I do wish, like, with everything that I'm going through, you guys, y'all know what I'm going through in front of everybody, public, just on a large scale. I do wish, I've had thoughts like, damn, right now would be the perfect time to get this advice from my dad because he was in the industry. You know what I'm saying? He knows about music. He knows about how to handle certain situations when it comes to, navigate through this type of stuff. I can't really ask my mom about this type of stuff because she doesn't know, So I have times where I'm like, damn, I wish I could call him. He probably would have said, Kelsey, now you need to do this like this. You need to say, you know what I'm saying?
But it's the same old thing. It's the gift and the curse. Yeah. Because you don't necessarily have that to lean on or to pull from, it's made you stronger. It's forced you to figure it out on your own.
You have to figure it out.
All right, big girl boots, let's go. It's time to show up, time to show out. Let's do it for dad. Type
because how can you learn if you've never been through something? You know what I'm saying?
Gotta jump out there.
Exactly.
My father passed last year, so I know exactly how you feel.
I am so sorry for your loss.
I'm sorry for yours as well. But so because when your father passes, I'm not sure exactly how much your father's in your life, but that's like your Superman.
Yeah. Nah, right? Even though he wasn't there today, like, nah, we had a relationship. He was cool as hell. We thought he was, like I said, to us, especially in Victoria, he was a celebrity out there. Yeah. I'm serious.
Connected.
You don't have to be known worldwide for somebody to consider you this celebrity. He was very influential in our city. I remember us having autograph signings at Hastings, and the line will be out the door. You can go down there today and play his music, and the whole crowd gonna sing. Exactly. So he was, we looked up to him for he was the truth.
I know exactly. Yeah. And in your eyes, Superman can't die, right? So when Superman does die, that shit fuck you up.
Yeah. But it was.
Here's how you know that daddy is Superman, right? For every woman, is as men, because there's a lot of men in the room, right? Any woman you ever dated, they will convince you that their dad could whoop your ass. You know what I mean? And there's been a few of those occasions where I've looked at some exes and I'm like, if your dad comes through, he's getting that little ass whipped. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to. I'm just saying, he better not raise his voice at me, that little bastard.
Because it's up and it's stuck. I don't care who it is.
Last thing, but the fact that you can really think to yourself, what would my father do or what would he say? That means he's always with you.
Most definitely. And, he actually was somebody who loved getting on Facebook Live and stuff. So I can go back to his Facebook page, and he was somebody who was always dropping gems and, you know what I'm saying, giving advice. So I'll go back to his page and find a video where he's giving advice, and I'll, just take it in that way. So he's definitely left us with stuff that we can go back to and just,
That's amazing. Yeah. To be able to document these moments, I think about that with podcasting. My son's always going to be able to see me. Wow. You know what I mean? He's always going to be able to say, well, this is who daddy was. Daddy's kind of crazy, but this is who daddy was. And to be able to, that's what we all want. We just want that moment to be able to reach back, to remember. And it'll make us emotional. There's no doubt about it, right? Every time I'm sure you watch a video, it's just like a little bit, like you quiver a little bit. But that's what makes, that's that means you can remember. It means you can still feel it. You can still feel their presence.
There's always a reminder there, like, honest, like his legacy, like it has not died. Yeah. So he's definitely, I always feel his presence, always. But yeah.
By the way, if you're watching, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you turn the notifications on. I don't say that enough during our podcast because I genuinely enjoy these conversations. You know what I mean? And then there's people that's always like, why don't you reach out to the people more, talk to them? You know, like tell them to like and follow. You remind us there in that moment. You know what I mean? Because they're also doing the same thing. You know what I mean? And shout out to our sponsor, Hydra Life. You know, if you're tired of just having terrible water, you know,
low pH.
Yeah, just where you're feeling bad after you drink water. Because if you really look at how water is made, it's pretty disgusting. You know what I mean? A lot of this water that's coming through these systems is pretty damn disgusting. So make sure you get that right water. You see right here.
Hydrate your life. Let's go.
Drink some good water. Baby.
I love water. That's all I drink.
Got to.
I ain't doing no alcohol, none of that. Give me the water.
And pass me the hookah.
Hello.
And pass me the hookah, please.
So as a child, what were your dreams? Like, what did you aspire to be? Or who did you aspire to be?
Honestly, I didn't. I had dreams of becoming a lawyer. I didn't really aspire to be like anybody. My ultimate goal was just to break the generational curse of poverty. It wasn't about, I want to be like this person or I want to be like that person. You know, so I mean, I to be honest, I ain't aspire to be nobody but a better version of myself.
Nobody but a better version of myself at that young though?
No, yes, we went through so much that's all, you know.
Know what you needed to do.
Exactly. When I got my first job, it was help the family. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really have anybody I wanted to be like or aspire to be like.
That's actually pretty dope. It's a different perspective than what you hear most people say. It's like there's always this person or that person, this person. To be able to identify so young. I personally like the story of the child that navigates through the hood more. Yeah. Right? Like I grew up in the hood in Buffalo, New York. And I always try to tell people the primary difference and the reason why we're more like prone to be fucked up a little bit is we grow up quicker. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, our first 10 years of life is actually helping take care of the other siblings. Yep. You know what I mean? Making sure that everything is good. You know, making sure like when somebody knocks on the door, it's different when you live in different neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. Like you really got to investigate real quick. Like, who is it? Yep. You know what I mean? No, mom's not here. Yeah, but it's nope, mom's not here.
Especially when you ain't expecting no company. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, what you knocking at my door for? Oh, you the landlord? Yeah. Don't open. Don't open the door.
Nobody's home.
They're definitely not allowed. Yeah.
Don't open the door. But I'm grateful though for the things that I went through in life. You know what I'm saying? I feel like had I had it the easy route, I wouldn't be as sharp, as I am. I wouldn't have had the work ethic I had. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate the struggle for sure.
The life is what I'm living. Like it's just that it's for me, I'm sitting here kind of in shock that I'm getting to know the real you because obviously it's a story that I followed, everything that went on. And I don't think there was a bigger story in the news the past few years, unless we're talking about Young Thug, right? Like there hasn't been a bigger story in the news. And so like, as I get to know you, I'm like, okay, like this is the human part of you that most people, they could never see. Yeah. So you haven't spoken to the world in years.
Mm-mm. I sure haven't. I haven't. And, it took a lot for me to come and do this. You know what I'm saying? Part of that is I wanted to be sure when I did speak that I wasn't speaking from a place of anger. You know what I'm saying? That I wasn't, I'm able to articulate myself well enough and not allow the drama or that stuff, you know, just overshadow like how I truly feel, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's very important. I didn't want to take an interview or sit down with anybody until I was past that part, you know? And
Smart.
yeah, and you know, I had earlier this year, I was like, you know what? I think this is the year that I want to open up more, you know, let people into my life a little bit, and maybe hope this will help them understand me more. Maybe I'm related, you know, maybe my story will help somebody else, you know. So, and I think it's also a part of like the healing process. Maybe this will help.
And it absolutely will. You know, you can't, when we listen to music, how many musicians do you hear that you're like, this music is absolutely terrible, right? but they still get 2.5 million listens a month because they are able to reach through to somebody.
Right.
There's always somebody that's going through the same thing you're going through.
Absolutely.
You know, that's nature. You know what I mean? So there's so many people that, yeah, they'll sit there. There's so many people that'll sit there and troll you, but there's so many people that don't even have courage to type to you to tell you, you know, hey, how did you do it?
Right.
You know, how did you still find a way to navigate through
all of this?
You know, and that's something that we'll get to. For now, I was thinking about how it all began with Meg. You know, how did you meet her? I believe you were in college with her, and that's how the two of you became friends, correct?
Right.
So how did that go about?
I want to say 2013, 2014. Sorry, I'm not good with the timeline and things of that nature, but we actually both enrolled into a summer program at Prairie View. And it was only so many people who got selected to be in this program. And so we met there. We met at college during the summer. I had this crazy bright red hair. And I honestly was a tomboy. You catch me in the gym, hooping with the boys. You know what I'm saying? Working out. So it's crazy how we both came together.
So she was like Kobe.
You know what I'm saying? I was a to myself type of person, so it's crazy how we even gravitated towards each other because we was two totally different types. Yeah, like she's always been who she, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The wild. Like
I would have thought she would have been like the center.
Nah, she was she was a party girl. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy how we gravitated towards, you know, to each other. But we definitely met in college at Prairie View. One night she had invited me to a kickback. And it was just me, her, and a whole bunch of guys from the basketball team. And you know, it was a vibe. Like they were playing instrumentals, they were freestyling. Again, it's just me, her. I think it might have been one other female, but wasn't nobody paying attention to her. You know what I'm saying? So the guys, you know, that's what you do. You sit around, play beats, and freestyle. And she hopped up in the freestyle, and that shit was what the fuck? Mind you, I come from a music background, so I didn't know what I know now when it comes to, you know, I guess like different positions in the industry, how you can be this person to an artist. But I just knew music because of my father. Yeah. So when I heard her, I was like, this girl got something. You know what I'm saying? So we met. That happened. I told her like, hey, you need to let me record you and put you on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And she, at that time, she wasn't as confident in that area. Yeah. So she was like, nah, I don't think so. I said, no, you are a star. You know what I'm saying? You are a star. Let me just record you and I'm going to create you a YouTube. I'm going to create your email and I'm going to put you on YouTube. And this is how people go viral. And I'm going to say the next day she came back and she was like, okay, you can record me, but it got to be to this beat. It was a MJG Nate Ball instrumental. Show enough. And recorded her on my cell phone, edited on Movie Maker, put that shit on YouTube, name the video. I named it Killing Shit because I was like, you killing shit. Like, we gonna name this shit Killing Shit. And shit from there, like, she became viral on the campus. Like, that girl could rap. That's the girl that rap. And shit, from there, everything just kind of spiraled. And we stayed connected. I believe after the whole semester, I ended up going my separate way. I moved. She moved. She went to a different college. But, you know, we stayed connected, and that's how that happened.
So you found her.
You know,
really, that's how it works. You were the A&R in her career.
Then that's why I said, if I knew what I knew now, yeah. You know, and I've never really just talked about it because I'm not going to say I don't give myself enough credit for certain things, but it just wasn't one of those things where it's like I felt like needed to be spoke on, I guess, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? But it's a very important part of our story.
Yeah.
And I think it wasn't until 2018 where I really realized, like, damn, maybe that moment was really something.
Yeah.
Because her mom, rest in peace, pulled me to the side. We were in LA at a Airbnb. She had a music video down there for Big Ol' Freak. And her mom pulled me to the side. And I'll never forget that conversation because that was one of our last conversations before she passed on. And she just told me, like, you know, thank you. I'm like, thank you. Thank you for what? She said, you know, we wouldn't be right here today if it wasn't for you. And that stuck with me forever. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn.
From mom.
Yeah, nah, that's for real. I've never told nobody that. Only the inner circle knows about that.
Does she credit you for it?
You know, I don't think so. There's a few interviews out there you can go find where she did speak on it, but it was never like me and her had never had that conversation, like thank you for doing this. You know what I'm saying? But I never thought nothing of it. I mean,
are you supposed to ask, like, hey, don't you forget? Like, nobody wants to really play that role.
No, but it wasn't even one of those things. Like I said, I did it, and I genuinely did it because I really knew, like, she had something, and I just wanted her to show that to the people. And it wasn't one of those things where I was like, oh, I did this for you. And I never, I overlooked that.
Yeah, you probably didn't even think of it until her mother said something, right?
Until her mom said something. Right. And of course, it stayed with me, but I still never was like, oh, you don't need this because of me.
Where my roses?
Right. Where's my plaque? Nah. But nah, it was never like that for me at all. I was just happy that she made something from it.
I mean, look, I guess you got a career in being an A&R. That's where you should be with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Yeah, there you go.
Stay tuned. I might be somebody's A&R soon.
Okay. There you go.
Y'all never know. But I'm working on a few things. But that was the start of our friendship. And of course, I kept trucking and doing my own thing after I left PV. I didn't finish college. I kept doing my own thing, and I was still involved in the Houston music scene. Mm-hmm. So, you know, my work with her doing her thing, she was on her rise, and me doing my own thing within the Houston music scene. You know, she wanted me to come with her and be on her team because she needed somebody that she could trust and somebody that obviously was knowledgeable in that area. So that's how all of that transformed.
Is that how your life as an entrepreneur began?
No. My life as an entrepreneur, like I said earlier, when my dad passed away in 2017, he had left, when he passed away, he had an unfinished album.
Okay.
So it was my job as his oldest daughter, you know what I'm saying, and somebody who had connections, I felt like was my duty to complete that album for him. So I had to go hawk down every session, find out every producer he worked with. I had to find somebody to help me get graphics and stuff like that for his album.
Sounds like you're the A&R of that project.
Yeah.
And I am. And even then, I didn't know what an A&R was. I'm just doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I put the album out. I was in the streets selling them, like literally CDs, pushing them in the streets. Getting his content together, rolling it out. And that's how the journey of Kelsey and my business, Can Management, started. Before he passed away, he sent me a message and was like, hey, Slim Thug needs models for his music video. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's one of the things I looked back into, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna do what he wanted me to do. He wanted me to be in the scene. So I then started being in music videos for these artists. I'm not really an in front of the camera type of person, but it was good money for me.
Yeah.
So
and a good look,
And a good look. So I ended up, girls would hit me up, Kelsey, because I was always on a set. So girls would hit me up like, Kelsey, how do I do that? How do I do this? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start a casting agency, and that's how that transpired.
Fire. So you really like I can only imagine your father had to look down, and he's got to be incredibly proud of you being able to finish that project.
Oh man, what he would have been like, how the F did you do that? Because I had no knowledge. I had no knowledge on how to do this type of stuff. Yes, I was, like I said, he was he was a rapper, and I was around him at shows and stuff, but I'm just being his child.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The
I'm
inner
not
workings is different.
Exactly. So I literally had to learn this stuff. I had to just figure it out, and that's what I did. And yeah, it was beautiful. We had an album release, everything. So like I said, that's how I started developing the knowledge in that area and just started my own thing.
That's dope. And so with all that said, a lot of people in the media, they throw around the term best friend loose. I mean, not just in the media, everywhere. It's best friend. Everybody's your best friend, right? Like this person's your best. Oh, we're best friends. They see me with Kato every day. They think I would actually be best friends with this guy. You know what I mean? but it's the narrative that goes around, right, with everybody. Was Megan Thee Stallion actually your best friend for that period of time?
Yeah. I believe she was my best friend at that time. I trusted her. She trusted me. I would like to believe that it was genuine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know I was genuine. So, yeah, I think, she was my best friend. Shit. And she seen me as the same. But people do throw that best friend term around loosely. Yeah. You'll meet somebody and then be their best friend the next day, but it's all for a look. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's gonna be on that. What's up, twin?
Yeah, I'm like, nah, I'm not loosely throwing no best.
We skip best friends and
went to
twins.
Nah, I'm not loosely throwing that term around because that comes with a lot. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but I felt like she was my best friend at that time.
Yeah, it's the word brother for men. You know what I mean? They're like, there's a good friend of mine, Marco. He absolutely hates it every single time when somebody calls him brother. You can see his face change.
Like, I'm not your bro.
Like why would you even? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he tries to stay quiet about it, but it is true for women. It's like the bestie.
Yeah, I'm not doing none of that. She's my associate, but I'm not fixing to just put that label on nobody like that.
Anybody.
Nah. I'm scared to even make friends now. So I don't know when's the next time I'm gonna have a best friend. I don't know about all that. Yeah. They scare me now.
Oh yeah. Well, speaking of friends, how did you meet Tory?
I met him at an industry event, the Rock Nation brunch.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where we met. Yeah, shit.
Yeah, I'm sure.
What was that like? You got this 5'2" guy walking up to you.
Honestly, like I don't have, other than obviously the infamous night, I don't have nothing bad to say about him. The encounters we did have, he had good energy. He was happy. He was cool. I ain't got nothing bad to say about him outside of all that.
Nothing about his hair or anything?
You know what's crazy? Y'all know what's crazy? I didn't even know about the hair part.
Really?
Until after everything. Until after that night. And you start seeing people spin that picture in the media. And I'm like, what the fuck? Is that for real?
I'll be around this nigga.
I never knew like that was a thing like that. You know, I didn't know about all that.
I always been a fan of Tory's music, and that's one of those things that like when people said that, I just was like, yeah, you're right. You know what I mean? Like, what's up with your man's hair? I'm like, there's definitely something going on with that.
That's crazy. You can't take that away. He got great music, but
So how did he get Kelsey?
How did he get Kelsey? You know, out of respect for y'all know I'm in a relationship, and that was years ago. I don't even want to elaborate on that.
Okay. I was just wondering if he like sang to her or something, you know?
Chick tape.
Nah.
But so obviously there's so much that went on with that I would imagine that's very painful to talk about.
Yeah.
Betrayal.
Mm-hmm.
And is that where the friendship ended? Is that night how the friendship ended between you and Meg? You
know, what's crazy is it's still so unclear to me how we got here. Right. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you consider somebody your best friend. You call them your sister. You're with them every day. You know what I'm saying? I would like to say no, the whole situation of her doing whatever behind my back, that is not why we fell out. It's so unclear to me why we fell out. I'm a type of person that likes to communicate things. Some people don't like to communicate.
It's a task for some people.
Right. But you would think when you have this, when you're close to this person and this person is supposed to be, you know, like your best friend, your family, your sister, like you would be able to talk about these things and, you know, agree to disagree. You don't even have to, people grow and everybody has a season. So if that was just the end of our season, I felt like we should have been able to just have that conversation and it would have been fine. You don't have to end in, you know, chaos or can't move on with peace. You know, I'm the type of person that likes to move on with peace. Yeah. You know, I can respect that people grow. But I guess, I don't know if it's a thing where people feel like they don't like to face the reality of things.
It's easier.
Is it easier
not to face the music and actually
talk about what, you know, the problems or what's wrong?
It's easier to do that. Let's just pretend like everything, you know what I'm saying?
I don't understand that.
Yeah, we live in
I'm not saying it's right.
It's like walking into a relationship that you could tell is dead and actually sitting down and having a conversation about why you want to end the relationship, to terminate it. It's a lot easier for somebody to go cheat or to just run off, and it's difficult to sit down and say, hey, it doesn't work, because now you're looking at somebody and you got to actually make that decision. I had a relationship like that once where the first 6 times I said I don't feel that way, I was a chicken shit. Like I backed out of it every time. No, I was just. I guess I was in the moment. I don't really mean it. Maybe I wasn't, and then I'm with her for another.
Then you're back
2
with her,
months
and you're not really happy, right? See, for me, I feel like everything was okay before that, as far as what I thought. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if she just took that opportunity to just say like fuck it. Right?
So much was going on at that time, too.
Right?
Like I'm sure everything kind of just.
It was fast. Yeah. Believe it or not, that was my last time ever seeing her.
Really?
Wow.
And it's crazy. How do you go through something like this with somebody, with your best friend, your sister, and you just push them out so easily? I don't know. I'm a different type of person, I guess.
You really are. Because in front of the world, she went out, and it's clear now, right, that she went out and lied in front of the world, said I was never with him and stuff like that. And you weren't the type of person that went out screaming to the media that said, yes, you were. You just stayed chill. You stayed yourself throughout all that.
Yeah, and it wasn't an easy thing to do because there was so many times I wanted to go off, clear my name, defend my name, up against these lies. But they say like people who run to tell their story first, they do it because they're scared of like the truth, you telling your truth.
Yeah.
So they got to paint this picture of you.
Let that be the narrative.
And make people believe you're this bad person before you can do it to them. You know what I'm saying? My intention is never to like paint somebody as a bad person. But my story, unfortunately, has to reveal these people's character. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think they want that. You don't want me to tell my side of the story because it's going to reveal like things about you that is just like not right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So doesn't it bother you when, I did see the clip where she's like, "Oh, you better speak up or you better say anything." Like.
Is that the one recently?
Yeah. It's like you
so
don't want me
many
to speak up, but I feel that with the time that she did spend with you, and that she knows of you, she knows that you are the type of individual
exactly
that
I don't like.
She uses that to her advantage.
To her advantage.
She's a big girl. She's probably always looking down on people.
I totally agree with that. Not the big girl part, not the big girl part. The part about she knows my true character, so she knows like even though yes if it comes down to it, whatever, I'm gonna handle my business.
Yeah.
I don't go out and seek drama. I'm not a confrontational person, but if it has to be that, then that's what it is. But I would prefer to not have to go there. You know what I'm saying? And these are things that, she does know. I'm not that type of person. I'm not fixing to get on the internet and do all that.
No, again, I don't want to, I prefer not to get too into detail about those types of things. But I did want to ask, is that night, the infamous night, the night that you actually found out about the betrayal?
It's crazy. Yeah, it is. It is. To my knowledge, shit. Other than that, like shit, she was 100.
Yeah.
To my knowledge. So yeah, it did end up coming out that night that she had been betraying me or whatever, and of course it's like, damn, why it had to come out like this? Like we should be able to. You should be able to come to me and say this. That way we can laugh in these niggas' faces, not these niggas laughing at us.
Supposed to be on the same team.
Right, exactly. And so, but for me, it's never about like, I'm not fixing to fall out with nobody behind no guy. Yeah. That's like the last thing. You know what I'm saying? But of course, there are principles. And of course, when you are this tight with somebody, we should never have to do that to each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I did find out that night. Yeah.
Now the pain that had to cause in your life, and you've mentioned it earlier, being able to trust again. Like we got into it, right? This is your best friend. Now you're out in the world, and it's like, okay, well, this person wants to be your friend. They're trying to like you could see yourself. But, it might be 5 years down the line where I find out that you're not this person. How tough has that been for you in your life, letting people in?
Honestly, since that night, I've isolated myself completely. And I don't know if I've isolated myself. Sometimes you can self-sabotage, right?
Yeah.
If you stay in isolation too long. I've completely isolated myself and took myself out of environments that I normally would be in because I don't trust and because of the fear of, the betrayal. It put me in a very dark space. And a lot of people don't know that because I guess if you don't share it on social media, it don't happen. Or if you don't express it on social media, you're not going through nothing. If I post a picture tomorrow smiling, they just think, oh, how Kelsey's just so happy. How are you happy through all of this?
So careless.
But you don't know, like, behind closed doors, I really go through shit. So, I definitely have a fear of meeting new people, letting people into my space because I don't know what their motive is. And, there's times where I'm like, damn, I wish I had me a circle of friends that I can just go, let's go have some wine, let's go do something, but it's hard. It's hard to make those connections. And there might be genuine people that really want to get to know Kelsey and be my, be my friend and genuinely
good for you,
want good for me. But I don't know that because of the fear of, just the betrayal that I pushed those people out.
Yeah, giving somebody that power again.
Exactly. So I've definitely been inside.
Has that affected your drinking too?
The drinking, I don't.
Because
that night shit affected my drinking.
Right.
And I say that because I learned that shit is the devil.
What?
I'm for real. Like,
damn.
I'm serious. I mean, if you know how to, there was a time where we was turning up.
Right.
Y'all knew us as the hot girls, drive the boat.
Oh yeah, drive the boat.
We was pushing that. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to a point where alcohol, takes over and you become a different person, it's time to let that shit go. Everybody's lives that night changed. So I don't even understand how you could still
have a taste for that.
Have a taste for it, want to get drunk, any of that. You know what I'm saying?
I guess what you said makes sense, though. You obviously know more of who she is than possibly even she knows when it comes to that, because a lot of us don't recognize our demons. We kind of try to push it under the rug, like, I'm not really like this.
Right.
That's only when I
drink. Right. You have to have. It takes to be able to have the ability to recognize those things. I'm so thankful that I was able to see that. I want to say maybe 2 times after that night, I got drunk out of being emotional, right? And I think it was my birthday. My birthday was a month after that incident, and maybe one more time. And I'm like, nah, this can't keep happening. You know what I'm saying?
Not the same.
You get so drunk, you turn into this different person. You wake up the next day, you don't know what the fuck went down. You know what I'm saying? It's a scary thing. So I can't. I'm good on getting drunk. I'm good on all that. Yeah.
And like as we start walking back into the light in this specific conversation, I wanted to close that portion off with, there was an apology, and you seem like a very genuine person. Do you, when you think about the 2 individuals, Tory and Megan, I would imagine, by the way you carry yourself, you don't even want the worst for them. You probably genuinely want the best for them still.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's like a good or a bad thing. Because some people would ask, like, people that I've had these conversations with, like within my family, how can you still have sympathy for them? You know what I'm saying? I guess that's, like I said, my heart. People fuck up. Some mistakes you truly can't come back from. And you have to face consequences to some of the actions that, that you do. But prior to that night, this was my sister, my best friend. And, he was a friend to us. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, alcohol turns you into a different person.
Yeah.
I know, sober, this is not who you are. So, yeah, there is a part of me still that is like, nah, I hope everything works out for her. And, with his situation, it's unfortunate, but hopefully, he can overcome that.
Yeah. And there's no one that has gone through more than you. And it is the media. It's what they say. And, oh, well, she said this, so this happened. Oh, well, you pled the 5th the whole way, so you have to be a bad person now.
Right.
What is that? How do you feel when you hear that stuff?
Are
you able to shut it out?
I am now. Of course, in the beginning, it was like, it's a hard thing to truly accept what everybody's, I guess their opinions on how I might have did certain things, right? But at the end of the day, I have a son I have to raise. I am a regular person. I am not a celebrity. I have a life I have to live. I have a family. I have to move forward with my life. And I have to do what's best for Kelsey. There was no protection for Kelsey. It was none of that. I'm out here by myself. I'm very accessible. So people can take what they want from that, but I have to protect Kelsey. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, people can form whatever opinion they want. I get it. It doesn't, like, why would you do that? But, you know, until somebody walks in my shoes or goes through something like that I went through in front of everybody, they wouldn't understand.
No, they can't. There's no way.
Hell no, that shit's crazy.
There's no way.
And it's like it's a constant reminder. Somebody is always, like, it seems like it's dying down, and then boom, there's another story, and then boom, another story. And now you got Wack 100, who is infamous for always putting some storyline about somebody out there. Now you have him saying, well, there's a video that's out there, and the video shows this, and it shows that. What do you have to say about that specific instance?
When he said that many times, but I think he recently said that. When was that, like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And he said it's gonna come out in a few days. Where's the video? Where's the video? And hopefully there is a video, because guess what that's gonna do? Clear the fuck out of my name. Shit, I wish there was a video. I'm sure there was a video. I'm positive there was a video. There had to have been one. How you're in LA, you're in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Around rich ass, you know, in a rich ass neighborhood.
Yeah.
Nobody got the footage. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I hope a video does come out. Until then, like, shit, leave me the fuck alone. Because I don't know what y'all saying. Y'all saying the video what's this video supposed to show? It's going to show the real. And it's going to make people feel bad for me for real. Because they going to see. You know what I'm saying? But, shit, with the way AI and all that shit is set up.
Oh, man. Right.
I be like, motherfucker, if y'all AI generate, you know, if that's even possible.
Yeah, nah, I be thinking about that all the time.
Yeah, you said it.
That shit's crazy.
It's wild.
It's dangerous. You can literally create a conversation with somebody's voice and make them, you know, say something that they didn't really say, and it sounds like you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, we live in a different world now.
It's dangerous.
But it's definitely different.
But you know, I understand that. Of course, it shit like that bothers me. But I also understand that people gotta keep their algorithm going, and you know they gotta stay in the headlines and shit like that. So it is what it is. I know the truth. Everybody involved knows the truth, and that's just what it is.
Now let's get to the light.
Hey.
The love?
The light.
Oh, the light.
The light. Let's get to the light. Let's walk into the light a little bit over here, you heard? You speak about, and we've spoken about best friends. Mm-hmm. Fortunately for you, throughout this entire process, you actually were able to find a best friend. You have a child.
Hey.
I believe you're happily married now.
You know what's crazy? I'm not married.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
I don't mind people saying that.
Okay.
Because we call ourselves, you know, we say amongst
like
our
that.
peers
That's
and
why
things.
you're my wifey.
Yeah, we address each other as such. Shit, the power of the tongue is real. So yeah,
there we go.
Manifest that for me.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? I'm happy. Y'all gonna know when we get married because we're gonna do it big.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, no.
I could definitely picture you setting something after everything you've said. I could imagine the wedding's definitely gonna be big.
The wedding's gonna be crazy. Like what? Yeah. But you know, I'll give y'all a little something. I think I don't know who. I think immediately after the court case, or the same day, the first day I took the stand, a headline came out. Kelsey's husband was present. Mm-hmm. You see, what people don't really know is you can create these, how can I say this? You can create these narratives and pay the blogs to post this. They were trying to connect certain dots that just wasn't connecting. Because of my boyfriends association with, just people in the industry.
Okay.
They were trying to make it something that it wasn't.
Yeah, they'll do that.
Oh, okay. I got you,
For court purposes, I guess. Yeah. I'll say that. Yeah.
Yeah, to throw that everything about a high profile case like that is let's twist the narrative to make it seem like this is going on and that's going on. Oh, yeah.
Kelsey's husband was present and her husband is connected to this person. And so this is why she did that because, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. And I'm just like, bruh, y'all is reaching.
Yeah. If you make any sign like this,
I swear to you.
They're gonna, it's gonna happen. I'm telling you, I'm just open to it now. If you see my IG, I'm just constantly doing this. You know what I mean? 'Cause I don't mind
the Illuminati,
yeah, I guess I joined in.
Yeah, it was a reach. But nah, I'm definitely happy. I like how you called him my best friend. He is my best friend.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yeah,
So I do have a best friend.
You know, you can look at the way people carry themselves, right? You know, obviously he's here with us right now. And you can see the way people carry themselves and the way they look at you. You know what I mean? And in a short period of time, how they handle business when they walk in a room. And you could tell when somebody like genuinely is there for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because this is not an everyday thing. There's a lot of people in relationships, but a lot of people are not in relationships with their best friend. So how did the two of you meet? Did it happen during that time frame?
No, it didn't. And I'm glad you asked that because that's something else people don't truly understand. They feel like our relationship stemmed off of, we'll get into that later, but we met, I want to say in 2018, he actually was one of the top people in Houston bringing artists, to the city from Moneybagg Yo, Rod Wave, Trey Songz, Tank, Quando Rondo. He was
names,
gotta hit some buttons there, you heard?
Yeah, I mean, shoot.
He was one of the main guys doing that. And I was managing the artists in Houston. And so, of course, as an artist manager, you want to keep your artists involved in things that can help, just increase their visibility and just keep them in position. So I actually had reached out to him. My D-Boy, that's his name. I actually had reached out to him and was like, hey, I got an artist. How can I get him on your show? And he hit me back. And from there, that's how we built our relationship. It was a working relationship. You know what I'm saying? He allowed me to put my artists on pretty much all of his shows. And that's how we connected.
How pivotal has it been having him around throughout that time frame to kind of be the battery in your back? To tell you, I would imagine, again, because of I observe little things in people, the way they operate. I think that's one of my gifts. But I would imagine that he's the type of person it's okay. Go.
Yeah, so very pivotal. When he came in, or when we ended up, first of all, he was helping me get bookings, in Houston, and so we were around each other for that period of time, and I think the more that we got around each other, it became like.
So what's up with you?
Exactly. What's up with you?
Enough about these artists.
Right. So, when he came in, I was in a space where I was lacking motivation. It was hard for me to create. It was hard for me to keep going. He came in and pretty much his energy gave me that motivation again. He also, came in and enhanced my income, my strength, my income with everything I had going on. He taught me how to get more from what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? So it was one of those things, though, where, I said, hey, are you sure this is what we want to do? You know what I'm going through. I was transparent with him. I told him everything, because this was an ongoing situation. And so although things weren't coming out right then and there, it was going to come out, whether it was a year later or 2 years later. And this is something that I'm going to have to face. And if we're going to be together, you're going to be right here with me. So I had to be transparent with him. I told him, it comes with a lot. I don't want you to miss out on no opportunities because you're attached to me. And he wanted to move forward. Like, he knew me. He loved me for who I was. You know what I'm saying? So
that's very
we got through that.
responsible of you though too.
Yeah,
Because you guys are
have
both
to.
in the industry and all that.
Yeah, so we kept our relationship. We protected it for a while just because I didn't want that to affect anything he had going on.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, can we get a round of applause for some real love? Because you don't see it too often, you know what I mean? Shout out to that real love.
Listen, man, when you go through things and you got somebody that you can really come home to and confide in and say, babe, this is how I'm feeling and I'm not happy right now, and they still accept you for who you are, and regardless of how the world see you and what the comments and this, that, and the third, man, that is so powerful. That's what keep you going.
Yeah, and I know it was hard for him because he had to deal with sometimes I would misplace my anger. You know, he had to deal with me not wanting to go with him anywhere, or me being at the house just wanting to be in the bed. You know, he had to deal with those things. So I know it was hard for him, but shit, he rocked it out with me for sure.
Hello.
Yeah, you can see that love. She's over here when she's mentioning him, you know.
Oh, I'm
playing with her hair.
Yeah. So if you could go back, right? If you could go back and give advice to your younger self, what would be the advice that you gave yourself?
If I could go back and give younger Kelsey some advice, it would be to not live based on the expectation of others.
Ooh.
Stay true to yourself. You know, move in faith. Don't be so hard on yourself. Mistakes are okay. And read the Bible. Stay in your Bible.
Keep your sword on
Stay in your Bible for real.
Keep it together.
That's some good advice.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's very simple, not too complicated. Like a lot of people would probably try to, I would have done this and that. You know, like get too far and into the entire situation. But I feel like it doesn't matter how religious you are. I feel like the Bible offers so much great morals, stories, growth.
Yes.
And it's sad that we live in a world now that frowns upon this.
Yeah, no, I love, I'm not a very religious person, but I do believe, and prayer does help. Prayers are very real, and I know that. I'll share with y'all that, you know, the morning of everything that, you know, the infamous night, that morning I woke up and I had said a prayer. I said a prayer to God. And I asked him, you know, like, God, you know, just reveal if there's something you're trying to reveal to me, reveal it. You know, if there's something that's not for me, show me that. And I swear to you, I prayed that morning. That morning. And that night, it was like destruction. And I was angry. I was like, that's not what I asked for. But you have to be ready for what you know, you have to be prepared for what you ask for, especially in prayer. And that's how I know that shit is real. Yeah. You know?
I'm going to go ahead and stop praying.
No, I'm dead ass.
It was a revelation, right?
Yeah,
I'll never forget.
I'm gonna go ahead and not want that to happen to me. You know,
I'll never forget. Tough. But you know, if that's how he wanted to unfold, I believe it's because he knows I would have stayed, no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what, do me dirty, whatever. I'm gonna stay by you. You know what I'm saying? So I think it had to happen that way for me to get away. For me to grow, for me to, you know, shine in my own light.
Right.
And so, yeah.
I can't imagine how tough that is for you because everybody only has a narrative of Megan is this and Tory was this. You know what I mean? But it was never about what you actually had to go through.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like, damn, that poor girl. It was more like, oh, well, this, or well, I can't because, you know, they're the names. Everybody wants to talk about them.
And you know, I had accepted for a while that my pain didn't matter. because I was told I was told by certain people and on the team like you're not the celebrity. So like this was really told to me, and I'm like, you're right. I'm okay. I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna be all right. But I was really going through shit. I really have PTSD from that. Really was depressed. You know what I'm saying? Like all that shit's very real. And no, I'm human, and my pain does matter.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I had to deal with that, and it's like I'm sure I'm not the only celebrity friend that has went through stuff like that. I think we always get kind of swept under the rug. And if I wasn't as strong as I was, and if I didn't have that work ethic, I would have been forgotten by now. You know what I'm saying? But I've always had, like I told you at the start of my journey, the work ethic, the hustle has always been in me. So I'm going to always figure it out and always find a way. Persevere. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
liberation comes at a price.
Yes, it does. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that has, been minimized because of who you're attached to.
Yeah, I could feel it, right? Like listening to you, and that, like I was feeling that, and then she had that breath. That I'm like, okay, that's it validated it for me. Like, okay, yeah, like it really is. I'm like, oh,
no, it's a real thing. I have like, if I ever. I'm not like I feel like I'm not like one of the best speakers, right? I'm a great writer.
No, but you are a phenomenal speaker. Good. To be able let's give you your flowers here for a second about what you're doing. You haven't spoken a long time. Mm-hmm. This isn't like it's chopped up and there's all these issues or these portions where you slipped up and you couldn't say what's on your mind and speak. Right. You've done nothing but impress me and impress everybody in this room with the way you've carried yourself throughout not having a conversation. I was concerned. I was really concerned. After we had a conversation on the phone, I'm like, this is going to be tough for her.
Right.
You've exceeded the expectations by far. You're doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
But I hope that maybe one day I can be the voice, for those that, the celebrity friends. There's so many people who have gone through this and, like I said, you get minimized. But one day, hopefully I can get us all together and help us share our story and shine light in that area. Cause I think it'll be a great thing to do.
Oh yeah. Shed some light.
For sure. Cause it matters. It does matter.
Did it take therapy to get here?
You know what? Going back, I have not taken any therapy, right? I do know that I need it. And people that I have confided in have also suggested it. It goes back to, your childhood and your upbringing. You're kind of raised to be strong, to get through the shit. It's going to be all right. Everybody goes through shit, right? Go cry in the restroom, wipe your tears, come out and keep going. So no, I haven't did no therapy. But I will say, I want to say like in 2020, 2021, I did undergo like series of tests. And I did get diagnosed with PTSD and anxiety and depression. It was recommended for me to go see, the therapist and things of that nature, but I just neglected it and I just moved forward.
A therapist obviously is fantastic. If you can, find a good one, of course, somebody you can actually, again, confide in and be real with and get that advice from, that's always great. But therapy comes in a lot of different forms. It could be you just taking better care of yourself, you just managing how you handle relationships and how close you let people to you and little things like that. Having more you time, making sure, I'm getting my nails done. I don't care what nobody else say. Don't call me. Today's my day for me to do whatever I please,
Yeah.
That's therapy too. New clothes, new hair, whatever it is however you get that.
I think my son was like, it's like the therapy for me.
I think he's like
the therapy for me.
Wanted to get into that. I got a newborn daughter. She is 6 weeks.
Wow.
Baby girl.
Congratulations.
I'm obsessed. Right?
Yes.
That's my first baby girl. Only got 2 kids. You met my son. You will meet my daughter. That's to me is like the part of a conversation that puts a smile on my face. You know, what has that been like for you having your baby boy around?
You know, he came, he obviously was conceived in the middle of all the shit that I was going through, right?
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I was in a space where I didn't want to, how can I say it? I couldn't love, I felt like I couldn't love properly. I couldn't, you know, be affectionate. I couldn't, you know, I was depressed. And when he came about, you know, he truly taught me like how to love, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
You know, it's so pure.
Different.
I remember one time, you know, this headline, it was like crazy headline. And man, it just me and D-Boy, Darian, we were getting ready to leave the house. We had a whole day planned, lined up, and the shit on the internet was just, it was like just going in on me. And I sat down on the side of the bed, cried. I was done. I was like, nah, we're not gonna move forward with this. I'm good. My day is over. Mind you, it was early in the morning. But I felt like a pain. I felt a pain in my body. And I'm pregnant. And I'm like, I can't keep allowing this shit to, you know, affect me because I feel like it's gonna affect my child. Mm. So he came at a time that he really helped me love again. He really helped me, you know, to, how can I say it? Like, not feed into the negative energy because I had to protect him. You know what I'm saying? I wanted him to come out. I wanted him to be happy. And I don't know if y'all have heard of that, but it's like your baby feels every emotion you go through. So I took that and I made sure I didn't let that shit bother me no more. So, I mean, the love is so pure, you know, have to nurture this baby. You have to raise them. You have to make sure they're healthy. You know, it's just one of those things, like, it's just so beautiful. But he definitely made me happy again, for sure.
And a child could just lift you up in a millisecond.
Exactly. In ways that if you're not a child, you wouldn't understand. I mean, if you're not a parent, you wouldn't understand, you know. If you're not a child, if you don't have a child, get you one. Have you one.
Not everybody needs to have a child.
No, you're right. You're right. Because you can have a child, you can have a kid.
There's gonna be a lot of people watching this. You gotta be
You know what I'm
careful,
saying?
yeah.
You have to be a parent. You can't just have a kid and no, you have to, you know. My son has been like the forefront of everything I've done for the past 2 years. So I've been in a complete space of motherhood, you know.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so that's what I've been on for the past 2 years.
Yeah, I don't have any kids, but it seems like all my boys are having kids and second kids, and I'm getting overlapped. But one thing I do notice, one good takeaway, it really does cause you to slow down and really take inventory on what's important.
Yes.
You know, what's the legacy that I'm leaving behind, and how am I representing for that little guy or that little girl? Like, how they gonna see me? How are they gonna remember me? What do people tell them about me?
Yeah, that's very important, and that's why I hope, like, moving forward, I can, you know, just change the narrative of what's already what's out there about me, even though it's false. My son still has to grow up, and eventually he's gonna learn about this shit. Yeah. He's gonna see all of this.
Isn't that wild?
It is wild.
Isn't that wild? It's crazy to think about. It is
wild. So I hate that you can Google Kelsey Nicole and then it's all this bad shit. It's like, man, that ain't even who I am.
Yeah, what about the good stuff?
So let's get to it. Who is Kelsey today?
Who is Kelsey today? Like I said, a mother. A mother that, and I'm gonna go back to that because that is truly, you know, what I've been on for the past 2 years. I had to really slow down. I was always, you know, with my business wise, I was on the go. It was always something, you know, just go, overworking. He slowed me down in a good way, you know, because you can overwork yourself, you know, and you don't even realize it. You don't have the energy no more. You know, you're just in overdrive. You're not really taking time for yourself. So that's what I've been locked in on. And it's been a good thing. I've been able to take time to myself and solely focus on being his mom.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
I like it.
I think there's been about 5 or 6 times in this specific conversation. We've had so many conversations now. I feel like it's day after day after day where we're speaking to somebody else and this person. 5 or 6 times at least that you left me speechless. Where I'm like, where do I go from here? You know what I mean? And because I'm so invested in the story, because it is important, it is pivotal, and it is important that people hear your side.
Yeah.
Right? And it is important that people know who you are today, not only as a mother, as an entrepreneur, as a wifey. You know what I mean? That's why you're my wife. I got music always plays in my head. I hear it. I'm hearing it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And again, shout out to you being in the room and being by her side the whole time. This is dope. It's what like the world actually does need to see. You know what I mean? It's what's missing. It's like
it is, because I don't know. I think I have an old soul, very old school when it comes to just like morals and just things that you live by. I've never been on that type of, I'll take your man. And you know, I've never been that type of person. And so we are in a time where it's like, that's the thing. Yeah. Girls like to brag about taking somebody's man and doing all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm never been on that. So I think, you know, being true to your relationship and keeping that sacred and just being transparent and genuine, I think that's a very beautiful thing to do, and I think it's needed in today's world. If people just knew how to love and just give love, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we'd be in a better place in this world.
Hell,
further, faster.
Yeah. Absolutely. But you could take all the time you want to hype your man up too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's always
fuck with that up,
it's always welcome.
I see right now he's in manager mode.
Yeah, no, I see it.
So he ain't even
It's dope. It's dope. It's a beautiful thing to be. How many relationships, even I struggle with it, right? Like, I'm listening to what you're saying. You said that he was able to help you earn more.
For sure.
He was able to make you better.
Yes.
A lot of women aren't even really that great at receiving that, because it's like, who are you to tell me? You know, I mean, I got my own life. Do you know what I went through or what I had to do to persevere to get here and be the woman I am today? I don't need to listen to you. Don't tell me you ain't my daddy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just like boom, boom, boom. That's power in itself.
Don't get me wrong. You know, I had moments where I was stubborn, or I felt like, nah, I could do it this way, you know? And then when I try to do it my way and I don't take his advice, I fuck it up. And then he got to come back and clean it up and be like, I told you, just listen to me. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay to listen and receive from your person. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I went through that, you know, because we're so much alike. I feel like I know more. He feel like he know more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Of course.
But nah, he's good at what he does for sure.
I said this recently, but I didn't break it down to the detail. The men are from Mars, women are from Venus, right? Women speak to be heard, right? And men, the way we operate when we speak is we want advice, naturally. So when we're talking to our boys, we say, you know, oh, how do I fix this? You genuinely want a great answer from your boy to fix this damn car or to fix this door, you know what I mean, or to fix the wall, right? We actually need that. For a woman, it's not even about telling them how to fix it. It's about telling them it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, I hear you.
But did you hear?
You know what I mean? So like,
for real.
So
I get it. But did you hear me?
Absolutely. So what I find is that there's a lot of women out there that don't understand that when a woman asks us, we actually want to help. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like a good man really wants to help and they really want to fix it. And then there's the moments where they're like, I'm not going to listen. Don't tell me. Yeah. It actually causes us pain.
Oh, that's good to know, because, you know, sometimes like I said, I still battle with it sometimes. Yeah. I'm like, you just trying to tell me what to do. Yeah. But nah, and it's like, no, he really is trying to help and tell me for And
it's like we actually came up with a good thought and we figured it out. And we're like, I'm gonna fix this. I know how to make it work. And then it just gets shut down. Like, how do you know better than me? It's like, wait. And then we kind of got to go into our little show when it comes to that, because it's
like,
not like we're gonna sit
I ain't
there.
telling you shit else no more.
True.
Do it your way and see what happens. Don't
even,
come back.
Even though we tell you to do it your own way, we still don't want you to do it your own way. We don't want to have to fix it either. You know what I mean? It's like we already gave you the
telling
advice.
You this. I wish you would just hear me.
And there's a good chance you're not going to hear us in the second time around about it either. So it is true. But again, it's beautiful to see that love and you being so transparent about it. You've been through so much, and I appreciate you for coming up here and having this conversation with us.
Yes.
What would you like to say to the people? Because it's been 2.5 years.
Nah, I feel like it's 20. No, almost going on 4.
4 years.
Yeah, we started a new year.
Damn.
It's 4 years this year.
Shit.
Time moves. 2020.
Wow.
Yeah, COVID
Going on
fucked everybody
4
up.
years.
Quarantine.
Yes. What would I like to tell to the people? Just, I guess, be open to, as I open up and as I allow people into my space and my thoughts and things of that nature. Just have some grace, be willing to hear me out. Don't be so hard on me. Get a chance, allow me to share and open up, and y'all, just try to get to know me. Because I promise you, I'm not this bad person. I'm not I'm not what the media is saying about me. I'm not those narratives. I'm not those headlines. I'm human. I've made mistakes. I might have responded in a way where I may have came off as this person. But I'm human. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, just give me some grace.
Man. Like when you sit there and you're like, this is gold, this is gold.
Yep.
And I've never, I told him earlier, I've never been this concerned, because I'm like, how does it go?
Yeah.
We're talking to riffraff, or you know what I mean? Or like we're talking to somebody who's coming to promote their album, or somebody who's promoting their next fight. It's a completely different conversation. Right. I got a little bit of experience speaking to Roger Bonds, who was Diddy's former bodyguard. And again, you ditched me on that. I wanted this moment to explain it to you. Yeah, he was at one of those weddings.
Yeah.
Wearing one of those Egyptian weddings.
He was wearing like one of the little shikis or
He
whatever.
Said, Rob,
shiki, what do they call it? Yeah, he had swords, monkeys, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, you think, come on now.
I feel like I had to defend myself, man. Hold on, man. I had like a bar mitzvah, a wedding. I had like a Nigerian wedding, which was like, one was in the dashiki for the classic cultural moment, and then it was like a traditional wedding in a suit. These boys don't let me live that down.
Yeah, because he left. I'm sitting here like I'm hyping him up. Yo, the interview tonight's gonna be dope. And I thought he was still coming to the interview, and he's like, "Kill it." And I'm like, "What? You ain't going?" You know what I mean?
I felt
so like
bad,
like this. This is why I'm grateful that you are here. You know what I mean? Because look at it. You could give me my. You know how like she was saying that Meg never gave her that moment. You could give me that right now. You know what I mean?
I will say you definitely held it down, and I was at the wedding watching the interview, showing everybody like, this is where I'm supposed to be at. By the way, like
so you still campaigning?
Of course, man, because I want that's a big moment, much like this one. It's important for me to be a part of that. I've been here since the beginning, so it was big to me too, and it did hurt me to be there, but I'm the godfather of his son. I gotta be at the wedding, dog. I'm like one of the best men,
I'm a troll too. So talk to us about your record. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You are funny. My record, honestly, that shit was, it was playful. This track was released on my ass, and I'm not even a rapper, so I was like, man, fuck that. I'm finna respond.
Got something for you.
I'm finna respond in the way that I'm finna speak your language to you. You know what I'm saying? And when I heard, her track, I immediately hit up my people and was like, hey, I need you to pull up to my house and, let's set a studio, let's set the studio up here. And I need, I need a beat. Oh, okay, who's the artist? Shit, I'm gonna be the artist. I was like, what the fuck is going on, Kelsey? So, that's how that transpired. I heard the shit and I just got on my phone and was typing in response to everything she was saying. I just responded in my track, and shit, everything I said in my shit was facts. I ain't not one lie. It may not have sounded the best to everybody, but shit, I'm not a rapper.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But I put the words together. I put it together. It don't sound that bad to me.
Hey.
So again, why don't when we sign off we play that record, right?
Yeah.
So line that up for me. Again, thank you. Thank you.
Thank y'all. But before we get into that, I want to know, what was y'all's initial thoughts?
Ooh, you really want to know my original
yes,
thoughts?
I want to know. I don't care if it's I want to know what y'all thought about me.
So I'm just gonna be honest because I'm an honest person. Just so you know that I was a Tory Lanez fan, huge Tory. I am a huge Tory Lanez fan. Love his music. So I found a scapegoat. I used you as a scapegoat. I was like, she definitely fucking let it off and shot her. I'm just being honest. You know what I mean?
I appreciate your honesty, and it's a lot of people that feel that way, I guess. But that's.
It was the easiest route for me.
Yeah.
And like, let's be honest, for me it was like, I think most of the times when I hear most of these stories, we recently spoke about Nipsey Hussle's passing.
Mm-hmm.
I did not believe it.
Yeah.
No matter what, it was just like, nah, he's still alive, or the story's fake, it wasn't really Nipsey. There's something else had to happen. And then the conspiracy thing, it was because he was talking about Dr. Sebi. Like, we don't want to believe that somebody that we are a fan of is going out this way. You wanna hope for a narrative. Somehow it's spun. I had no idea who you were.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was nothing against you. I'm just like, there has to be somebody else. Yeah. I thought there was only 3 people. That's it. This is how it went. It can't be him. He's not that dumb. And that's just how my story was. So that's me being honest. 100% with you.
And I can't, I'm not upset about that. And that's just like, sometimes with these blogs, of course, when I can identify when there's a paid post and when something is just them putting their stories together based off of what's out there. I don't get mad when it's something like that because they're just doing their job. You know what I'm saying? And everybody has a right to their own opinion. And when you don't know certain things and you're on this person's side, yeah, of course, you just can't believe those things. But again, alcohol is the devil, and it'll turn somebody into somebody they're not.
And you don't get to escape that question.
What?
Oh yeah, what?
I didn't know what the fuck was going on because the more I heard about it, other names were thrown into the story, and then they were here, and this was happening, and it all led to this, and because so and so was jealous of this and that and the third.
Don't tell me you thought it was Kylie.
Nah, yeah, right. That's the shooter. Yeah, right. That was the last suspicion I had. Honestly, I didn't know. I said I didn't have the dog in the fight. I don't know who did what.
And I like that you brought up the jealousy thing. I'm gonna clear that up. No, jealousy ain't play a part in not a goddamn thing.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Well, as far as like for me.
I think we heard that.
Yeah.
In there.
As far as my standpoint, nah.
Okay.
I think a lot of people will pick that up based on what you said. It wasn't forced. This conversation wasn't forced. There's a lot of things you said subconsciously that showed the person you are. That would clearly show that if people actually want to listen.
Yeah.
Because there's definitely going to be a lot of people. Oh, come on, the criticism of this converation right now. Oh, Danza didn't ask the real questions.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean?
Yeah.
Why was there this? Why'd you have residue on your hand? We don't want to talk about that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we don't.
And one day I'll clear all of that stuff up. I definitely have.
Hopefully, when you do come back on, you know what I mean. But they're gonna say that, and they're gonna say, oh well, she lied about the entire thing. She was forced to say this. She was paid to say this, and obviously, look, Kato showed up to this interview, he didn't show up to the other one. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? So those happen. But before we let you go, this is something that I love the most about most individuals, aside from being a parent, is an entrepreneur. Yeah. You got some businesses in the works. Can you talk to us about some of the things you got going on?
So KM Management, that like I told you when I first, in 2017, I launched KM Management, which was a casting agency. And we were casting models for, music videos. Over time, the business grew. Now we're more into artist relations, coordinating events, casting actors for indie films, and an overall full-blown production company.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, so I also just opened up a fashion boutique in my hometown.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. So that's what I'm working on that, just working on growing that. I thought it was a good idea to take it to my hometown because,
of course,
there's the lane for fashion is wide open. We don't have anything like what I'm bringing to the market. So, that's what I have going on.
Amazing.
It's awesome.
Again, we appreciate you. Congratulations on all the success.
Thank you.
Most importantly, congratulations on being able to overcome.
Thank you. I'm still overcoming.
Huge.
Yeah.
But it's huge, and we can see that you're well on your way. A beautiful fake marriage you guys got going on right now. You know what I mean? A beautiful baby boy. All the blessings in the world to him. All the blessings in the world to you guys. Again, thank you for choosing us to finally be able to speak.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate y'all for, like I said, I feel like this is a great stepping stone into the direction that I'm going. Eventually I would love to clear up every narrative and answer those questions that, those ones that you try to avoid. Eventually I plan to do that.
In due time.
In due time. Right now, this is just like a stepping stone into me opening up.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Well, we're grateful to be the stepping stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all.
Come on.
Lando, you can drop that track for me? Why we
the Bussin back?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, I thought it was Bigfoot.
No.
Y'all, I am not a rapper, okay?
No, you don't got to rap right now. We're just listening to it. We're signing off. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button.
Yeah.
This has been episode number 163. 64? Oh, man, that's a lot. 164. Danza Project. Like, subscribe. We're going to leave you with this. You can mute the mics. Let's listen to this record. You know what I mean?